Okay, guys, Suburb Roulette. We're going to show you this morning how in 2025 some of the major suburbs of Sydney have performed, how much they've gone up. Is the market going to go up 100 grand for units over the next 12 months? Let's have a look at some of the old data and you may be able to interpret where the market's going. Stay tuned. Billy Drury! How are you this morning?
Good morning. Really well. How are you?
Good. This is interesting because, I love my data, everyone, and I think data doesn't lie, and it actually paints a really interesting picture for the future of property. I had someone give me a poker on Saturday night, Billy. You probably saw my post and the comments on it. Someone was like, "You wait until the boom, the bust after the boom. It's gonna bust. It's gonna bust. Everyone's gonna bust. The first home buyer's gonna bust." And I was like, "Buddy, chum, mate, we've had in 40 years that I know real estate. You've had GFC 1, GFC 2, we've had wars, we've had COVIDs, we've had election changes over and over, presidential changes over and over, US presidential, changes over and over. It's like all I've been ever hearing about my whole life is the boom and the bust that's going to happen. So I think it's important today to show everyone how their suburbs have performed, and we ain't going to be busting.
Yeah. So, where would you like to start? Northern Beaches. So we should start close to home. DY.
Let's. So we're going to give you. We've got an interesting tool that we're going to use today that most people don't actually have. We pay for the benefit of this. It's a thing called Cotality, Core Logic, RP Data. They're always changing their bloody name, but this company buys all of the land titles office data in New South Wales. So every time a property sells, they get the price, the owner, and all the data, the date, and then they consolidate it. So if, for instance, we're going to give you data on DY, we're going to get, if there's been 700 reported sales in DY in the last 12 months, we're going to grab all of those 700 prices, and then we're going to see what picture that data paints. That's how powerful the information we're giving you guys is. So when we do DY now, let's do Parramatta, let's do Chatswood, let's do Blue Mountains, let's do Bondi, let's do Manly, let's do whatever you request. It's a live show you can put in your suburb. We're going to do it for you. Let's look at DY, Billy Bob.
Yeah, DY is a good suburb because there's a lot of volume. So you've got safety in numbers, 567 apartment sales in the last 12 months and 65 house sales.
Ooh. Can you show me on the screen the 10 years of what the DY units have done? So have we got a graph?
Yep.
Because I think this is important, and I had this conversation over the weekend with some buyers. If you look at, actually with my daughter Jade as well, yeah, okay, look at that. So in 10 years, it's gone from that number at the bottom to that number at the top. Why is that interesting? Over 100, 150, 100, 200 years, 30 years, the market generally doubles every 10 years. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 15, but the average is 10 years. It doubles over 10 years. If you see your market exceeding more than double over 10 years, I can understand we talk boom, we talk bust, or boom and bust, bubble, 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 right? But if the market hasn't done its double, it's not doing what it's always done. It's underperformed, and I think that's a good suburb to potentially get into. Show us your what number did that start? What was the percentage and what like that graph you showed me, Bill? Was that starting at what price and finishing at what price?
So that's 10-year average, 94.8%. So nearly double over 10 years, DY.
The
And that
DY
started at
units?
DY houses.
Give me okay. There you go. Houses have doubled. What have units done in DY?
Units have underperformed.
What have they done?
Units have done 45%.
Okay, so if you bought a unit for 600,000, what price you got there, Billy Bob?
If you bought a unit for 720,000, 710,000, it's probably worth, based on this, just over $1 million, $1.50.
So units in DY have not doubled. I actually think DY is a great suburb to get into for that reason. Until that gets to 90 or 100%, it hasn't doubled. So I think there's plenty of gas there. And again, how this data has been derived is they've looked at all of the 600 sales for the year, this year, last year, the 600 sales, the year before that, the 600 or 700 sales, the year before that, the 600 sales, and then they've graphed all that data. It's very powerful, the information you're looking at. Let's start having a look around Sydney, and guys, live show. Any questions? Let us know. Let's start having a look over the rest of Sydney, Billy Bob. What else do we
Can
have?
we go Bondi? Because
Yes,
that's I think that's another big one. A lot of people
you
like
want
to
to
talk
do
about.
Bondi houses, Bondi units.
Yeah, Bondi houses. So 1 year,
1 year.
quite sharp.
Wow. What
Yeah,
about 10 years?
10 years. There you go. Boom.
Boom. So what did that start at? What did that finish at?
Well,
What was how much
10 years was
growth?
145%. So it's doubled and nearly another half. Started at just over 2 million. Now it's at 5 million.
What about units?
And units, thank you for asking, 52%.
Okay. So units in Bondi haven't doubled over 10 years. I think they're a good investment.
Yeah.
There you go. And you know what? I know first home buyers it's hard. I know it's always been hard. And I was a first home buyer. You were a first home buyer. We get it. But when you start looking at some of this data, these units haven't doubled over 10 years. Does that mean they're cheap? Well, they're not. I wouldn't use the word cheap, but I think there's value there. Let's have a look at
Homebush?
yes. Love that.
Homebush.
We're
Okay,
going to
10
go
years.
houses or units.
We're going to do
Now,
houses first.
okay, but just bear in mind, guys, I think Homebush has had a lot of supply of units. I think the data is going to be very ordinary, but I think for houses it'll be good because there's no new supply of houses, but yes, there's new supply of units.
Well, the interesting thing here is, forget about the numbers for a sec. Look at the volatility compared to what you've just seen in the last two.
Yeah,
We're looking at much bigger peaks and troughs.
that's 10 years.
That's 10 years. And the numbers
Wow,
on the 10
that's
years,
units or houses.
65% for houses.
That's way behind on Bondi.
Yeah, that's right. 65% on houses and units. Oh my God, look at that. Look at where it started. Look at where it's at now. No
What
growth.
percentage? No growth in 10 years, Homebush. A lot of
No
supply,
growth.
guys. A lot of supply. A lot of supply. Give me another suburb.
Where do you want to go next? Do you want to go Parramatta?
Yeah, that's a lot of supply for units again. Let's go.
So Parramatta houses. Ten years. There you go. Very different to
Where's that?
Homebush. Houses.
Ooh. Houses in Parramatta, how much have they done
43%.
percentage-wise?
43%.
What about units?
Same. Near no growth. 6%. From
Oh,
590.
so if you bought a unit for $1 million in Parramatta 10 years ago, it's probably worth $1,060,000. Made 60 grand on
Yeah.
$1 million bucks.
590 to 620 is the average.
Guys, you should be learning something here. You've got to be, supply is the enemy of capital growth. Billy, this is your quote. Supply is the enemy. If there's a lot of supply of units, it's going to erode your capital growth. Buy in areas where there's low supply. So if there's huge land releases or huge unit releases, be really, really careful. Let's look at an area that's very tight on supply. Let's go across to Neutral Bay. It's an older suburb. There hasn't been a lot of new units or a lot of new houses developed in that area. And when you look at that low supply area, so there's not new units being built or new houses being built, the capital growth should be good. Now, another lesson that I was teaching on the weekend to some buyers was proximity to the city and proximity to the water. They're two elements people feel the most strongest about. So this offers that. This is proximity to the city and this is on the harbour. Water can be beach or harbour. But let's have a look at Neutral Bay.
Yeah, Neutral Bay is a funny one. So houses 10 years. It's really come off in the last 12 months. Interestingly enough, have a look at that.
So how much capital growth in 10 years, Neutral Bay?
56%.
And units?
53%. 53%.
I thought it would have done better.
I thought it would have done a lot better as well. 41%.
Similar to DY. Not bad. But I think if you look across all of Sydney by some of the data we're seeing now, units in a good performing suburb units have done about 50% over 10 years. I think that's low. And that's why I think units are gonna pop in the next 12 to 24 to 36 months. I think if your unit is going to make $100,000 in a good suburb with low supply, I think your unit's going to make $100,000 in the next 12 months. Billy, I think your unit's going to make $100,000 in the next 12 months. So I think my unit's going to make $100,000 12 months. So any of these things, anyone who has an investment property or an owner occupied property in a suburb of low supply units, I think you're going to do well. Where else can we go in Sydney? Let's go to Cronulla. Let's go south.
Last one.
Let's go south. Last one.
South. Houses, 10 years. Sharp increase. That's the sharpest increase we've seen.
Pretty good.
Very impressive.
Good. How much is that over 10 years? For houses. Okay, it's doing similar to what DY did with houses. Almost identical.
For units, 51%.
It's done almost similar to DY as well. There you go. Low supply suburbs, proximity to the ocean, or water, I should say, proximity to the city. It's very similar to DY. It's the southern extreme and we're the northern extreme of the city.
Yeah, and if you take that last, you take the back half of the graph, last 5 years, that was the run on COVID. That was the strongest capital growth ever recorded in a calendar year. And then you can see it sort of plateaued out, and now it's sort of just starting to come back to those peaks.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the property roulette game with Novak for some suburbs in Sydney. If you want to do this again, let us know which suburbs you want us to hit, and we'll do property roulette next time with Billy.
Yeah, there you go. Ultimately, supply is the enemy of capital growth. Choose wisely.
Love it. Love it. Have a great week. See you, Bill.
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.